For the Grand Tree quest, you will need to have level 25 agility and be able to defeat a level 172 demon, who is safe-spottable with magic or ranged. I also highly recommend completing the Tree Gnome Village quest before doing the Grand Tree, so you can use the Spirit Tree Travel Network to give you a speedy teleport from the Grand Exchange to the Gnome Stronghold. It's an easy quest and it won't take you too long. As far as required items, if you've completed Tree Gnome Village, then you don't need any, but if you haven't, there's a chance you will need 1,000 coins, depending if you helped the gnome with the cart the first time you entered the stronghold. But if you can use the spirit trees, don't worry about it. Again, if you've done Tree Gnome Village, you can use Varrock teleports to go to the Spirit Tree in the Grand Exchange to get to the Grand Tree, but if not, you'll need another way of getting there. Probably an Ardoin teleport, and then running the rest of the way is the fastest way. And for the final battle, you'll want any food, armor, weapons, and potions that'll help you with the battle. You'll have multiple chances to bank before the battle, so you don't need to wear your battle gear at the start. Okay, the quest starts on the ground floor of the Grand Tree. Talk to King Narnod Shireen. You'll say it's a very nice tree he's got here, but then ask him why he seems worried. He says he's got something to tell you, but first we have to go down this trap door so we aren't overheard. He says this is the foundation of the Grand Tree, made with gnome magic, but the tree is sick and the gnomes don't know why. Say you'd be happy to help, and the king is very relieved. Apparently, the head tree guardian thinks that the humans are sabotaging the tree, but the king says we should go talk to Hazelmere, one of the original mages who created the tree. The king will give you a bark sample and a translation book, and then lead you back up the trapdoor. Okay, next we have to get to Hazelmere, who lives east of Yanil. If you have the fairy rings activated, you can go to the fairy ring CLS. If you don't, try and use the Nightmare Zone minigame teleport, and if you can't use that, the fishing trawler teleport will get you pretty close. Once you get there, you'll find this little hut. Go up the ladder and then talk to Hazelmere. Well, try and talk to Hazelmere, who doesn't speak English. You give him the bark sample and manage to communicate that you want him to write down what he's saying. Go ahead and click on the scroll, even though we don't understand anything, and then click on the translation book and page through it. If you go through and translate each word, it turns out that Hazelmere gave some poisonous stones to some guy because he had the king's seal. So, head back to the Grand Tree. If you can use the spirit trees, you can use your Varrock teleport to get to the Grand Exchange and then use the spirit tree there to get to the Gnome Stronghold. Once you're there, talk to the king again. He'll ask you if you managed to find Hazelmere, and if you understood what he said. Reply, I think so, and then you'll have to select the translation for Hazelmere's note. The first line is, a man came to me with the king's seal. If you don't see it, click none of the above until you do. Okay, there it is. The next line is, I gave the man Daconia rocks. And then the last is, and Daconia rocks will kill the tree. The king explains that Hazelmere created the Daconia stones as a safety measure in case the tree ever got out of control, but someone forged the king's seal and is now using them to kill the tree. The king says we need to warn the head tree guardian, Gluff. Gluff is found just a short walk away, to the southeast of the entrance of the Grand Tree. Go up the ladder and you'll be in his house. Talk to him and you'll tell him what's going on. Gluff seems to be quite prejudiced against humans and believes that this means that the humans are aiming to attack the gnomes, and that he'll take care of it. Okay, return to the king. He says that Gluff has already caught a human sneaking around with Daconia stones, which seems suspiciously quick. You'll ask if you can talk to the prisoner, and the king says yep, he's on the top floor. So head up the ladder, and really quickly, if you don't already have one, I recommend grabbing a teleport and some food from the bank over here, because too long we'll be on a one-way trip to Karamja. Just a heads up. Okay, back up the ladder and up again. Talk to the guy in the cage. His name is Charlie. You'll begin to interrogate him, but poor Charlie is very confused, and said Gluff paid him to get the rocks from Hazelmere, and then suddenly arrested him. So Gluff seems like he's up to something. Charlie suggests searching Gluff's home to see if you can find anything suspicious. So head back down the ladder, and then south to Gluff's house. Go up the ladder, and then open and search the cupboard, where you'll find Gluff's journal. Click on it to page through it, and it reveals that Gluff has some pretty strong negative feelings about humans. Go talk to him to confront him about it. You'll say you know he paid Charlie, but he says you're just a fool and calls the guards on you. Can't say I blame him. If somebody just walked into my house and stole my journal, I can't say I'd be too happy about it. And now we're in the cage with Charlie. So it's pretty clear that Gluff has a problem with humans. Charlie says if you want more information, you should go talk to the Karamja shipyard foreman. The password to get in is Ka-Lu-Min. At this point, the king will appear and say he's sorry that Gluff arrested you. Gluff might have something against humans. We tell the king that he might not be able to trust Gluff, but the king denies it and says that Gluff is the best tree guardian he has. But then goes on to say you'll probably have to take the glider from the tree because Gluff won't let you out the front entrance. So go talk to Captain Erdo, just over here by the glider. He seems like a decent guy. He says he's got lots of human friends. He asks where you want to go, and if you're ready, tell him to take you to Karamja. And the next thing we know, we have crashed on Karamja. Apparently there was an unexpected turbulence over the volcano. And there might have been more to conversation, but a joker decided to bash me. Okay, next just run a little to the east until you find a gate to the fence. Click Open Gate, but the nearby shipyard worker asks you what you're up to. And you respond, I'm trying to open the gate. This game sometimes. Anyway, tell him that Gluff sent you, and he'll ask for the password, which is Ka-Lu-Min, and he'll let you in. Run to the south and east along the dock until you find the shipyard foreman. You can either kill him or talk to him. I'm going to talk to him because I am a lover of peace. And also, I didn't bring a weapon. You'll tell him that Gluff sent you to check on how he's doing, which the foreman finds hard to believe that Gluff sent a human, even though the foreman appears to be human himself. He says let's go talk in his office. Okay, in his office, he'll ask how Gluff's wife is, and the correct answer is, sadly, his wife is no longer with us. Then he'll ask you what Gluff's favorite food is, and the answer is, he loves wormholes. And then, what's the name of his new girlfriend? And it's Anita. Probably should have killed this guy when I had a chance, gosh. Okay, this guy's satisfied that you know Gluff, so he'll tell you that things are going well, and that Gluff is amassing a fleet of ships to carry gnome troops to take over all of Runescape. The foreman says he needs more lumber to build all the ships, and gives you a lumber order. Okay, we need to show this to the king to convince him Gluff is up to no good. So, return to the gnome stronghold. Once again, if you can use the spirit trees, you can head to the Grand Exchange and use the spirit tree there. If you haven't done Tree Gnome Village and have to go through the main gate, you might need your 1,000 coins to bribe the guard if you didn't help her on your first time through the gate. When you talk to the king, he'll tell you that it's currently not safe for humans in the gnome stronghold, and you'll tell the king that you think Gluff is killing the trees in order to make enough lumber to make a fleet of warships, and blaming the humans for it. The king refuses to believe you and tells you to leave before he has to lock you up. Speaking of being locked up, let's head to the top level to the tree to talk to Charlie. You'll tell him about Gluff's plan, and Charlie says that he heard Gluff say that he left some keys at his girlfriend's house, which seems worth investigating. To get to her house, go back down to the ground level and then head west. Go up the spiral stairs and then talk to Anita. She'll say that she's seen us talking to the king, and since we know Gluff, if we could return some keys to him. Okay, thanks, Anita. Head to Gluff's house. Use the key Anita gave us on the chest over here, and you'll get a scroll titled Invasion Plans. Read it to see, yep, Gluff is planning an attack on multiple areas of Runescape. Go back to the king once again. We'll show him the invasion plans we found in Gluff's home, but he says these plans could have been made by anyone. He says he had guards search Gluff's house, but all they found was some weird twigs, so the king has decided to allow Gluff to build his army. Okay, next part is the battle with the demon, so you probably want to head to the bank and grab your battle gear. The demon is safe spottable, so I'm grabbing my ranged stuff. And keep the twigs in your inventory, we're gonna need them. When you're ready, return to Gluff's house. Climb up the tree to the west of his house. Now place the twigs on the pillars so that they spell out T-U-Z-O, which is the ancient gnome word for open. And then the trapdoor will open, so head down it. You'll appear in a cavern, and then Gluff will confront you and give you the classic bad guy spiel. Your headache, it's too late, soon the world will be his, you can do nothing to stop it, and introduce you to his little friend. Okay, battle with the little friend. The safe spot is actually located right where Gluff is standing, so right-click Gluff and select Walk Here. You are now free to kill the little friend at your leisure. Well, actually, don't take too long or the demon will disappear and you'll have to start over. Once you kill the demon, Gluff calls for his mommy and disappears. Head along the tunnel until you find the king standing in the area where he took us at the beginning of the quest. You'll tell the king Gluff attacked us with a demon and that he has been sneaking the Daconia rocks into the tree through a trapdoor in his house. The king still won't believe you, but he does send a guard to go check the passage. The guard reports that he found Gluff right next to a pile of Daconia stones. The king finally believes you about Gluff and says we've got to help find the last of the Daconia stones. Run around the chamber and search the roots until you get a message that you've found the last of the Daconia stones. I believe the placement is different for everyone. When you find it, return to the king and talk to him. He will give you access to use a spirit tree in the stronghold for outgoing travel, as well as access to the gnome gliders and the mine just to the north. And then you'll finish the quest. Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope the guide helped you out. If it did, maybe hit the like button. And if you're interested in seeing any more cool guides in the future, maybe hit that subscribe button.